Okay, so you're in the education program.
Huh.
Alright.
No, with that, I'ma pop your head, nigga, bitch, with that.
I just used this beard trimmer with a 7 to 9 millimeter guard. It fluctuates by 2 millimeters when you rotate this thing, as you can see. This one's about 12 mil. So I did the 7 millimeter straight across my eyebrows. Then, because I've got flaky eyebrows, I put some of this Dermade on my eyebrows and on my sideburns. Then my sideburn was so thick with grey hairs that I put this 12 on. I think about 12. I just did all of that. Now I think I'm stuck with this whole thick stuff coming out the back here. As you can see here, I'm going grey up here as well now. It's the end. This is the end. I was sweating, I think it was about 2 or 3 days after Botox. And all my forehead was really sweaty. I can feel it's a bit sweaty right now, actually. It is winter, but temperature in this room is 20 degrees Celsius, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And it wasn't sweating on this band here, and then it was sweating up here, so it totally was working. I thought I was imagining that. It's not like I was just been playing with it. I'd been avoiding it, actually, because the doctor said you need a couple of days to not have the hairpiece on while it heals, because you've got microscopic holes going in from the outside, and germs can go into your body, and that's dangerous. That's what skin is protecting you from. The outside world's trying to eat me, right? And that's when you get buried in cough and you go and all the bugs that live inside your body, which weigh as much as your brain. They just devour you. It's not the worms, it's the creatures that live inside you, the ones that control your mind. You ever seen a close-up of an eyelash mite? Right on the eyelashes there are these spider creatures. If you've got arachnophobia, don't look at your eyes under a microscope. Not your eyeball, just, I don't know how you would see, well, with the screen obviously, you just fucking put a camera right there and there's a screen there, it's just a wire. Anyway, there are little tiny creatures living all over you and inside your body as well. And you don't want to let more in from the outside if they're uninvited, because your body's going to have to try to attack them, yada, 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 you'll die of AIDS. So he said, don't stick the hairpiece back on for 24 hours. It's been about 48 hours. And I did sort of have it tentatively just stuck on just by spraying alcohol onto the used glue on the back of this hairpiece. But then I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna put it back on properly. So I just shaved my scalp, peeled all the freaking glue off the back of this thing, which is a pain in the ass. I used to not do it at all. I used to just go, fuck, I'm not gonna do that. I just want to throw it away. But now I'm thinking, it's just a waste of money. So occasionally I'll go to the effort of cleaning all the glue off the back, and then I even used C22 solvent to like properly clean it smooth so it was no residue at all. Washed it with shampoo and conditioner and had a shower. Shaved my head, cleaned my scalp, and now I'm applying it. So I pre-glued all of this and just left the front edge unglued, although that bit had a bit of glue on it, so that's stuck down. It's not perfect, I can feel some overhang, but it's probably good enough, right? And I'm just waiting for this bit to dry. In the meantime, I was shaving this and getting rid of some of these greys. But now that I've done that, this is going to be short and this is going to be buffy unless I, put product in it and really hold it down. The thing is, if I absolutely shave the back of my head and make it really short here, then the top cannot be this long, right? It's got to be really short. And then when it's short, you've got a discrepancy between this and that. So it's always a problem. If you're wearing a front partial, people have said, you're balding all over, motherfucker. Do a full topper. Still not ready for it yet. But I can imagine if you do have a full topper, everything's a lot easier because you would just keep a short hairstyle everywhere on your head. Shave the shave zone with one of these. And then put a full topper over the whole thing, and the hairstyle would kind of just work, because most hairstyles look good if it's short all the way to about there, and then the hair starts getting whatever length you want it to be. But when your hair starts from here, it's not so good. Which means I've got a restricted number of hairstyles I can do. Now this is fairly long here, right? It's probably 1.5 or 2 inches. Could afford to trim that down to 1 inch all over. But yeah, it's really got to match up here at some point. What I like to do, because I don't like that whole, you know, sometimes people's hairstyles go up and then across, and it's too bulky here. I like to shave that all the same length, probably 1 inch all the way around there, and from that point onwards, go long. That's what I'm doing here as well. It's frightening going grey, don't like it. You can see this is where I put the overexposed hair dye when I tried to dye it brown here to get rid of some greys, but I just left it on overnight, and yeah, it basically peroxided all the colour out of my hair and then added a little bit of brown. So that's why I'm left with this blondie brownie light chunk on both sides here. It's getting to the point now, it's been a few months I think, that that can just be removed for my next haircut. I'm feeling very sweaty now, clammy I suppose. Let me feel this bit. Make sure my hands are dry. They are. I'm going to be feeling with this little finger here, right there. This is the part that's got Botox. Okay, I know just from touching it just a second ago that that's all wet. If I touch it now, that finger will have to be reset. I don't want to have to do that. But I feel sweaty all around here, and everything else. It's only 20 degrees. It says 70% humidity, but that's not from having a shower or anything. That's pretty high humidity. Whoa, that's absolutely dry. Oh, you can see the glue's wet there. This bit that's been peroxided is absolutely dry. Now it's right there and all along here. Yeah, I should have got the peroxide lower. That's all wet from sweat there. This bit up here, absolutely dry. That's good. I can go and get more. It's about $405 every time I get 30 units. I don't know what a unit is. I don't think it would be 30 milliliters. I don't know what a unit is. That's just absolutely wet. And just there is dry, which is really good. I don't want to go too low with the Botox because I don't want to have any paralysis or something. But yeah. That glue is not drying quickly because it's one of my tinctures with a mixture of this and this together to make the glue more runny. Because if it's too clotty, the chunk doesn't spread smoothly enough, etc. There's probably a good amount of runniness, but there's always that risk of dripping, glue all over your kitchen bench, bathroom bench and sink. And it takes longer to dry. 2 short falls of this plan, but I made up this idea because I used to love Dazzling Green, which was what I thought to be a thinner version of this. And you can't just add water to glue, it's just gonna fuck it up. You need to add alcohol to it. So I did that, invented this, totally works. I don't think it reduces hold compared to this. It just takes longer to dry. And being thinner, it's actually got some benefits as well. But yeah, feeling that right now, absolutely dry, and then they're absolutely wet. Totally, I can totally feel it even like that. It's amazing. It's supposed to take 7 days for the thing to have kick in, but I don't know, I can't remember typically if that was normally wet and then that was usually dry before I had the Botox, but feeling that difference, it's so different. It's unnaturally different. It's like something has been done. And we both know what's been done. Had Botox injected up here. And it feels like it's working, which is really good. And as I say, sweat is a big reason for hold being reduced. So I'm looking forward to this experiment. The problem is though, like I say, the top of the forehead, It's wet. It's not that's very wet there. Feels a bit dry there too, that's good. So, yeah, this might actually work. Hopefully there's enough where it sticks down to. I'm still crossing my fingers. Alexa, turn on the light. Yeah, see, I like that shortness, but it's got to extend around properly. It's really hard to get that done properly. I just realised I've got to go get my passport renewed now. My mum sent it to me from storage. She found it. It's expired, but I'm going to Vanuatu in September. And yeah, a passport photo. Think about that. 10 years it's going to be there, right? It can't look like shit. Now this hairline is way too high. People have been looking at me funny today for some reason. I think they're going, what the fuck's going on with your high hairline? Lights, motherfucker. What the fuck is this shit? I think this thing... Alexa, turn on the bathroom light. A lot of things have been fucking up lately with the Hue system. I don't know what it is. Like one globe is... Alexa, turn on the bathroom light. See, another light just came on. Everything's fucking up. The other day didn't respond.
Sorry, I don't know.
Shut the... Alexa, close the studio blinds. It's like a 10-second response time. This seems fucked. I don't think you can even open this up and replace the battery. But it's only a few months old. If these things are starting to die after a couple of months, that's fucked. I'm using the word fucked a lot. I just went bathers shopping. I just joined the gym. It's got an Olympic-sized pool. I've got to say, there's nothing more demeaning than fucking trying on bathers when you're the shape of an apple. Nothing fit. In fact, the ones I chose them because they're longer. They're called mid-length. They're the only place that I went to, like 5 stores around Melbourne, and this was the only place that had fucking men's bathers at all. Fucking crazy. So I just put this stuff in. Can't look like this, gotta fix that. So in terms of the hold for the glue on this thing, sorry, in terms of the, see the top of my forehead is there. This is that far above it. I've got a fucking nail, I don't know. Now I can tell you right now, I've been sweating a lot, like just when I went to try on bathers, it's been a very fucking freezing cold day, 7 degrees Celsius, or fucking, okay, 70 is 20 Fahrenheit, 70 Fahrenheit is 20 Celsius, 60 would be 15, 50 would be 10, 40 would be 5. So it was about 40 degrees this morning, it was fucking freezing. Nevertheless, I'm sweating like a freaking... I don't want to say because the jokes are too funny for you. This hairpiece is diminishing. That is just so far up. That hairpiece is so far up. The hairpiece is too short. I think when I trimmed off the front edge, I cut too much. I'm just gonna go shut the front door. So we'll probably just replace this. I've been meaning to replace it. Yeah, so you want to know about the Botox. Has it stopped me from sweating up here? The lifting. I haven't noticed any lifting at all. You can see there's lifting there. Is it sweating there? Is it wet? Usually when you lift it there, you can feel some sweat and wet underneath. It is a lot. I was just sweating really heaps. And usually that means if I lift up here, it'd be really wet. Here it feels kind of wet. Up here it feels kind of wet. There it didn't feel that wet, but here, up here it does. I think he did more of a band along here. I don't want to just like totally go, oh, it totally works. But look at the hold on that. Look at the hold on, that's where he injected. That is not even wanting to move. And that has been on there for 5 days or so. That took quite a bit over here. That feels kind of wet there. It still has the sort of hold of coming off dry. Back here it's all wet. That's all wet up here. This would be stuck to my hairs. Probably shouldn't be waxing my head like that. Yeah, I think. Okay. Now, if I were to position this with the front hairline, it should be there. Can you tell? Can you just? I don't need to educate you to that level. I assume if you're watching this video, you have the knowledge that you know where on somebody's face a hairline should begin, because you've seen a lot of humans before who are not bald, and you just go, right there, that's where your hair should start. I assume you have that knowledge. You don't need to fucking get a degree in engineering or something to achieve that. So I'm just gonna place it here and ignore this for now, and we'll see how big that gap up there is. Okay, so point to it, help me. Where do you want me to put it? Where exactly? There, is that right? There, up, there. Okay. Lower. Maybe that feels right, doesn't it? Right there. Okay. Does that look right? Okay. It feels surprisingly well stuck at that point. Okay, now what's the gap like up here? Significant. Yeah. But also we've got the whole problem of the balding continuing back here. Just look, I can split it that way. You can tell it's not enough hair. But yeah, that is too short. I'm just too tired to do this right now. I've got other things on. I've got to fucking do stuff on the computer. Send it to China. should have just gone with this stuff. I bought some more argan oil, different company, same shit, right? By Hask. Look how tired. I look tireder in the camera than I do in the mirror. Which is bad because the photos the thing is going to matter for the next 10 years on my passport. Probably wear a shirt as well. It's a better position. God, in the mirror I look like a fucking rock star. In the camera I look like a fucking dickhead. God, if only you heard me in real life. I sound like James Earl Jones. Is that what the audio is picking up? Like everyone compliments me on how deep and James Earl Jones like my voice is. They said you could be the next Darth Vader. And I sort of listen back to the recordings through this thing. It's like, hello, my name's fucking StickOnHair. Some exposed base, but I've massively improved the positioning. So, by the way, an iPhone's going to make me look a lot worse than the freaking camera in my studio. Oh my god, I look so exhausted all the time. Alright, I'll tell you what. I want to take this down the street with me because I care about what my passport photo looks like. And if they give me some shitty photos, I'll say, show me. Because sometimes they just got a camera facing you, and then their screen, they're like, yeah, whatever, we don't give a fuck. I'll be like, no, turn that screen around. And if their screen doesn't turn around because there's all shit over their desk and they're hiding the screen from the people who are paying for their own photo to be taken, I'll be like, well then let me come around and have a look at the screen. So you're not allowed back here. Well, fucking hold this mirror to the screen. We can't do that, so I'm gonna go get a photo taken in a fucking portrait place, and if there's a delay on my passport and I miss my fucking flight to Vanuatu, I'm gonna come back and kill you and your entire family. Or you can just show me the fucking screen. It's up to you. Can the police get involved? I'm the one who goes to jail for killing them and their family after what they did to me. It's not a fair world. Holy fucking George McFly. Alright, I've got to make sure this is all covered up. I don't want to put on a new hairpiece right now. Can I be fucked? Hopefully this will all dry by the time I get down there. I'm not taking a picture of the top of my head anyway. I don't care if those people see it. Fucking gap, I'll say, oh, yeah, I was in a terrible car crash. Ended up with a fucking scar. My hair looks better when it's got some fluff to it. I shouldn't have put gel. At least it's matte gel. Sometimes when your hair is all wet and everything, you can sort of reposition it all pretty well if you wear a baseball cap or a hat of any type. Just while it sort of dries and sets. Here's a quiz for you. What's this thing called? What's that? What's this little thing called? Huh? What? That's right, a tragus. Shows you were listening. This microphone is not connected to me talking to you in any way at all. It's just that I'm listening to fucking like loud orgasm from a porn that's going on in the TV in the other room. I'm listening to that. I'm listening to the screening and the sloshing, things going in and out of wet areas while I report this information to you. Because for me, this is just fucking boring. All right, I'm gonna go down the street and become another 10 years older. At least this picture will make me look young when I'm fucking 10 years older than now. Gee, I wish I could stop time. All right, put the brakes on now. Put the fucking brakes on now. 45 is old enough. Geez, those bags really don't seem to have diminished, do they? You don't sleep for 3 days, and for some reason, the universe punishes you by making you look tired. It's not fair. The thing is, one little catch-up sleep doesn't fix it. You gotta have like 5 or 6 catch-up. No, I don't even know. I've been jet-lagged since I was a kid, non-stop. I don't even know what it's like to feel wide awake. Coffee, speed, cocaine, they do nothing. Ice, don't feel any wider awake from any fucking drugs, ever. Never, ever. It's useless, all of it. Ecstasy is the only thing that's worth taking. And weed if you're by yourself. The other ones are shit. Alcohol is basically, you just gotta fucking skull shots, otherwise you don't feel anything. Nicotine is not doing anything for me except making me feel not withdrawn. Yeah. You know what I've started doing recently? It's one of the most hardcore drugs of all. I started drinking water. I've got a fridge that just gives me filtered cold water and crushed ice. It's so luxurious. I want some right now, actually. I've just talked myself into thinking it's the most delicious thing in the world. And it feels like medicine as well. It feels like it awakens the cells in my body. Not just warm water, cold water. That stuff's good. Alexa, open the studio blinds. Alexa, turn off the light. I'm surrounded by screens here, but morning is broken. And today is my first day at the gym. I just joined a gym, the swimming pool. And I've got a hairy ass. I can't see shit. Alexa, turn on the light. Yeah, I just happen to be healthy enough to lap myself into 3 days of being awake, 2 days of being asleep, 1 day of being awake. Yeah, I didn't ask. I'm going to put some hair removal cream on my body now. And I've already spent $80 on this pair of bathers from Rip Curl. $80. The size 38. That's what I'm wearing. But these were longer, right? So they made my legs stand out from my fat apple-shaped torso. But I needed to get a belt off my old pants, and that's about as, much slack I'm going to get off this belt. These board shorts actually do require a belt, which is unusual for swimmers. So I needed a belt that was plastic. Hopefully they won't flip open and these things fly off my hairy butt when I jump in the pool. Also got a bunch of these t-shirts from Kmart, which are all like, they wicker waist sweat or whatever. Extra, extra large. So, fitness gear for fat people. I figured out how to do it. But I mean, I was sweating like crazy when I was trying these things on. I'm still wearing the bad hairpiece that doesn't go all the way back. There's a gap back here. So if I go swimming in the pool, there'll be a big line there. But yeah. Who's there? Who matters? I mean, I don't even know anybody. So, Jesus, I'll just fucking embarrass myself. And as long as I don't hurt anyone's feelings, I mean, I'll just be the fat guy they're laughing at. Alright, I can deal with that. Look what I'm doing to myself on this channel, for God's sake. Alright, so it's already 7 o'clock, and my appointment with the personal trainer person who shows me around and tells me what level of torture I should endure is a 10. This hairpiece has those straight line problems happening here. Oh, by the way, yeah, let's talk about the sweat Yeah, from what I can tell, I am sweating a lot less up along the hairline from that Botox. Yeah, I think that has worked. Haven't paid enough attention to it. As time goes by, I'll give a better assessment. It seems to be working. Along here, you can see those lines coming up because there's exposed base. I didn't clear all the old glue off this hairpiece before. I just pasted glue over the old glue this time, so it's not going to be ideal hold. Also, I'm pretty sure this has a fairly big gap back here, which will be made even more evident when I swim in the pool. Before I have a shower now, I really don't feel like it. God, everything I do is giving me dandruff. Bothered. I'm not used to this. My back is hurting right now. My shoulder hurts. Look where else? I've got arthritis in my thumb. My hair hurts. These are my toiletries that are not hair related. Oh, not head hair related. What was I thinking? Waxing strips. I tried one for like 5 seconds. It fucking hurt. I can't stand that little pain. I'll do it in my nose, but not off other parts. Listerine. Okay. That's what I need. One of these will just remove the arse hair. That's how much I need. But I don't want to have a burning ass when I go there today. I gotta sit down with equipment. And I don't want to be that much pain either. But then again, I don't want this hairy back to be seen by anybody. A monster. I'm gonna have a Johnny Cash all day long if I'm not careful with this stuff. It's just to leave it on for like maximum 10 minutes. But in my experience, that's not always enough. And it's patchy. You can't just like have a shower and let the water flow on it. You've got to scrub it off. That causes abrasions because you're already chemically burned by this stuff. It's like acid or something, right? Alexa, play the news. Okay, so the worst part about my body shape is how it comes out there with these gigantic bulges, these goiters, these fat fucking things. So I'd say of all the things I want to solve about myself as I go to do the gym stuff, right? The number one thing I want to do is remove these. Second is health, like with breathing and so on. Okay. Let's get rid of some of this monstrosity. And also I wouldn't have to fucking have some width back here on this skinny arm. Oh, right. 7:03. The problem is you can't start the timer until you finish doing all of it, right? So awkward. So I'm going to go all the way down to, you know, just around the groin a bit. Not going to do my stomach side. told you. It's just nearly empty. Do 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 do, burning ring of fire. Flames burn higher, burn, burn, burn. A ring of fire, a ring of fire. At least I'll be able to reduce the amount of toilet paper I use by a factor of 10 when this is finished. Okay, so 7:03 was the starting time. It's taken me 3 minutes to put this stuff on. Alexa, set the alarm for 7:15. So there's a bit left. So I reckon if I was going to do my entire legs and arms and everything, that would be one of these, and it lasts for one use, right? That's just enough for your body at one time, okay? Given how much I've just used, I reckon I could squeeze out an entire second session, probably, or almost enough for a second session. Not comfortably, I'd be running out. But yeah, I reckon it's 200 mils, so I reckon you need 100 mils of Veet to do your back, stack and crack. Okay, can't be bothered, but better wash this stuff off. 7. I'll wait 2 minutes. It's not burning yet. The hairs don't even look like they're curling up enough yet. Good thing I'm going to the gym, isn't it? I can barely even stand up for 5 minutes. Look at this. It's just totally embarrassing to go swimming, take your top off. These are my new bathers, As you can see, I try to get ones that are sort of longer, so that it sort of qualifies this shape. I mean, it's like a nightmare. It's like going on stage naked. You know, one of those dreams. Not like the lines. Pretty bad. Doink. So this is from Kmart. And the shorts are from some way out bathers shop that's open in winter time because Kmart didn't have any bathers. Neither did Rebel Sport and most other places because they say, well, people only swim in summertime. And now it's, you know, middle of August, so they're not selling it. Yeah, feel better with fucking clothes on, I can tell you that. Especially since I'm going to go out in public like this. So yeah, maybe I won't go in the pool before I have to meet up with this fitness instructor. People are going to want to sign me up for some personal training sessions or something. I'm not going to bother with that. I feel like I'm covered in 1st degree burns or 2nd degree burns. Not 3rd degree burns. Not that painful. Or the 3rd degree burns mean that your nerves have been fried off and you don't feel anything. Fire is pretty messy. My heart goes out to you if you've ever been burned badly, really. I mean, those memories you share with yourself, and it's just, how are people supposed to relate to you? Or any other kind of physical pain. I can relate to you on an emotional pain level, that's for sure. But I mean, I'm glad I've had to choose. Okay, you're about to be born. Do you want a life of extreme psychological suffering or extreme physical suffering? A or B? Which one do you want? I said, no, what's C? No, there's no C. A or B? What do you want? A, let you be born. Snap, right? And that's how I came into this world. I chose option A. So for those of you who chose option B, I think I made the better choice. Hopefully A and B don't have to go, you know, both of them. You don't have to do both to pass. Let's hope not. A lifetime of physical suffering. The worst thing about it, not the worst, but insult to injury, is that people treat people who've suffered badly. That's how you can tell who's a good person and who's a bad person. Those who treat people who suffer well. I mean, from my perspective, I've become way less compassionate. Way less. I've been so shocked over the years by the lack of concern from others, given how loving and self-sacrificing I was every waking moment of every day, thinking about how I can make other people's lives better. It took me so many years to realize people aren't just concealing the fact that they care because it's cool, they want to seem cool. Yeah, who cares, right? Who cares? But they secretly think, yeah, I want to save the environment. No, they actually didn't care. They actually didn't care. Which is why there are so many meat eaters. Even though you see footage of a baby lamb being, you know, torn from its mother and then kept in a cage all its life and then have its throat slit in front of it screaming. One of these days I'm going to get some money to see if laser hair removal works. I'd start with my ears because it's the easiest part of my body to just test it. because it would be so cheap to do that, I think, rather than my back, for example. I don't know how crucial hairs are in your nose, but if they're not crucial, I'd rather not have to have them in there, or at least reduce them. Yeah, there's basically no lifting happening. I think normally I would have lifting. I really think the Botox is the thing that is. I need a lot more of this stuff. This runs out too quickly. It's too expensive. Like $16 for this bottle, right? $16. I don't feel like going down the street yet, but I think I will. Just go and have a coffee near the gym and psych myself into it. I just want to sit here and chill out and play with the computer, but I'm just procrastinating. Time to go. I just came from the gym. First workout, full workout I've done since I joined. And yeah, 43 minutes of 9 exercises, and then stretches and swimming in a pool and spa, sauna, steam room, shower, and then I had a protein shake. So, wonder if I'll keep that up. Let's see. As far as this hairline is concerned, I mean, this line here, I don't know if people could tell, you know, I was balding or wearing a hairpiece when I was in the pool, but I didn't care at the time, so I'm just playing this game. Yeah, so I was more concerned with the fact that I look like a melted candle, or like an apple that's been peeled down to the place they were holding it, which is where my shorts are. So, yeah, it's pretty embarrassing to take your top off in public, bring your tits out, but I did it. I look like Superman soon. Oh, it's good. I'm sure it's good. This up here, I feel there's way less lifting going on. I really think that there's way less sweat happening because of the Botox. I'm pretty confident that that's what's making it stay so well, but it is still winter, so it's not a good time to test it. But yeah, I wouldn't dissuade anyone from getting that Botox injection. I think it's probably a good idea. I haven't done all the full tests or anything, but it seems like it's working. Wow, those bags under my eyes look much worse than I thought. It is amazing how no lifting has really happened since I've had those Botox injections. And it is lifting back here though. There is a gap back here though, because this hairpiece is too small. Because I think I'm finally wearing it low enough in the right position. Jeez, those bags just, oh man. I don't want to get too much injection there. He said, you know, we'll do 1 mil split between both sides to start, and if you need more, come back. I went to the gym 4 days in a row, and today I didn't. I just ate like 10 potatoes and been eating these Maltesers. But I mean, shit, I still feel better, but I don't look better. I look fucking like I'm dying. I still have breathing difficulties and stuff, but man, I didn't even realize when I went to film myself right now that I would have such decrepit looking eye bags. Now, the guy said, you need to start wearing makeup here if you want to cover up the darkness. But that's not what I'm seeing. When I stretch that, it goes away. It's nothing to do with makeup, is it? Unless I'm tightening the skin in such a way that it's disguising any sort of burst blood vessels or something. Because it looks like I've been punched in both eyes. It's past midnight, maybe I should go to bed. I've been non-stop doing screen stuff, getting some business organized through China. Let's hope it goes well. Botox seems to have worked. Maybe I need more injections here, I don't know. My hair's become pretty big. Now I could do the usual and try to cut this myself, but I'm thinking of giving the barber a turn this time. What do you think? Obviously, if I lessen all of this up here, I have no coverage. So that needs to remain long up there. Obviously I've got no hair product or anything. And my hair at the moment, yeah, I'll go to the barber, see what he does. Anything's got to be better than this, right? I look like a lion.
Swinburne, next gen.
So they gave me a haircut, just to blend the back and everything. The side's probably a bit too short at the moment. But it's definitely an improvement.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to play over the song.
I realised it was time to change that hairpiece. That gap up there was too big. So I've shaved my scalp and pre-glued the back 7/8 of this new hairpiece. It's probably still, yeah, still wet. Probably shouldn't put it on yet. It's taken ages. When you dilute the glue with alcohol, it makes the drying time longer. I reckon maybe two parts glue to 1 part alcohol is best. In fact, I've got some really dried out old glue that I've been using and it's too hard to paste, so I'm gonna delete some of that now. Right, it's not completely dry, but I'm gonna go play ping pong for the first time in my adult life. I mean, I did it when I was over in Hollywood, so that's my most recent experience. I wasn't that bad, but you know, when you play against good people, you suck. I may get 1 or 2 good shots tonight. I was very competitive in sport growing up when I had a father, but then he just abandoned me. So, gave up everything. I really want the front hairline to work well. Good fold up here. I haven't really got time for this to dry. See, the thing is with this haircut, it's too short here and here, which means it doesn't sort of match. But then when I grow it here, it's going to become grey and stringy. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to, well, I already know the answer, we're going to have to dye it. I feel like I've got more coverage back here now, that's good. The other thing is, I don't like it when it stops like that. I prefer it to blend it into the beard, but the guy at the hairdresser just shaved it straight across. Not the best haircut in the world. The other thing is, the ugliness is exacerbated by the double chin, so everyone looks better when they're not fat. Look like a goddamn medical experiment. Look at me. This is the haircut I paid $36 for. This is why I don't go to a hairdresser. They don't know what they're doing. They use thinning scissors, which fucks it up permanently, right? So they can cheat, so it looks good on the day. Then they use stuff and hair dryers and all sorts of things, which I will never use. So that's a bullshit thing to do. And look at that. They were supposed to blend this into this. This is their achievement. I just went out like this without looking in the mirror, which I never fucking do anymore. I probably should. I try to educate you people to be vain, and I'm not. But I'm vain enough to not realise that this is embarrassing. Fuck. I have to cut my own hair, undo everything they've done. Piece of shit. I fucking hate barbers. They're so bad at their jobs. Most people are very, very, very bad at their jobs. There's only like 2% of people who are competent in this world. Seriously though, if I do want to keep these short without flaring out and becoming buffy here, because it doesn't work, there's no hairstyle, is there, that you can keep this short and then keep it long at the back without going into some sort of mohawk nonsense that looks like a medical experiment, right? Because it makes you thinner when you have the sides shaved. So in order to get that blended with this length, you just can't. I would have to go down for, I'd have to get this down to, I want to talk about 1 inch. This can't be 1 inch, that's already too long. And it annoys me, it's like always there and I'm pulling on it. I like it short, it just feels fresher, cleaner, But trying to get the rest of the hair to fit with it, it's really fucking hard. And like I say, most hairdressers fail in achieving a good look. I mean, as it stands, just imagining my head just shaved with the balding happening at the front would look better than what I got right now. That's for sure. But it's not the best. And I do often look very, very ugly bald. So I do want to wear a hairpiece. It's just trying to integrate it once and for all into a hairstyle that I don't have to keep worrying about it even as I go grey. Just I wish I could see the fucking camera on this phone. It's just, I'll get a different phone next time. I need to see where the lens is. I'm embarrassed here, sitting here in my own company with my hair like this. Sometimes lately, in the last year or so, I haven't even bothered putting all this footage together because it's just too much work. Editing this video together. Can't be bothered. I set this washing machine to 400 because it's 1:30 in the morning. I don't want to walk. The other day when I heard it going, I thought that's a jet engine. I mean, I reckon you could convert a washing machine into a helicopter. For a dog. I don't know, the washing machine itself is a bit heavy, isn't it? So, I don't know, maybe. 240 volts, go with you. Okay, so we got some lines along here. I'm not feeling any lifting. I think the Botox has really worked, to be honest. Now, in terms of these sideburns, I was trying to use the... Oh man, look at that. There's an opportunity for you. Watch this. Don't always the pimple. Oish. Oh god, that's pretty painful. I just filmed some stuff and then now the footage seems to have disappeared. I'm just going to test that this is going to work. It's not. I was just saying how you could turn a washing machine into a helicopter. That's down to 400 RPMs. It goes up to 1200, so 3 times as fast on the spin cycle. It's just that I wanted to keep it a bit quiet because it's 1:40 in the morning. I just popped this pimple with an extreme close up, but I think the camera's fucked up. Let's just stop this and see if it's actually recorded. Okay, so I think the reason I couldn't see that a video existed is because there's processing going on in the camera, so it doesn't appear in the gallery until afterwards. Okay. Yeah. So I just showed you this. Good, that was all recorded. There are some weird lines there. That's weird. I tried to blend it, but I fucked it up because when you do that way, it's different from that way. Different length, unfortunately, even with the guard on. Now I have been considering just getting rid of all of that and trying to shrink all those down to cope with that, but there's always a problem with coverage here. Always a problem. I'm better off. I've got to go to a wedding in Vanuatu on the 11th of September, and it's currently the 25th of August or something. So this will grow back a little bit, and with some styling product, potentially I can make this look okay. But it was never cut nicely enough. I mean, who doesn't know? If you're a hairdresser, isn't this bleedingly obvious? You've got a sphere, you've got a cut. They want some style at the front here, exhibit A, right? But the back needs to conform to the skull. Let's just say sphere, right? Well, so when you shave that round and then merge that forwards into the bangs, into the fringe, of course you fucking would. Which means you would shorten all of this around here, right? And then you would grow it from there forwards. Yeah, I've got to shower more often. I've got to go for a walk as well. You saw how fat I was in this video today. It's been absolutely disgusting. Yeah, I've got one side butt going shorter than the other. I've got to... I don't really want to. What's that one up to there? Top of the tragus. Oh fuck, I just took a bit more off. Just an idiot. Completely changes the shape of your face having different length sideburns, isn't it? Alright. Now, in terms of this corner, which is always a problem, I like to keep it covered so I don't have to deal with it. That should go probably up there like that, but when I try to cut it, it always makes problems for me. And these scissors are blunt. Just got that sharp edge over there in the corner. I'm gonna throw these scissors away, seriously. Now, that's not quite right either, but it kind of looks more real. And then on this side it's going down there. Fuck, that's way too up, isn't it? Shut up. This is what I actually look like. I can't see, you can. What do you think I should do? Just keep drawing this out or cut this? If I cut this, then I'll probably have to cut this. If I cut this, it's all sorts of problems waiting to happen. Coverage is so much easier to achieve when this works. Now this is the arse end of the hairpiece, okay? So the hair's sort of flying back that way a little bit, unfortunately, which means I can't get a smooth brush forward transition from there to there. It's all gonna be all up here, scattered around the place. I really do want to get rid of all that though. That should conform to the skull, shouldn't it? And it's that short, it's really got a bit short here. Two choices. And I can never get the back short enough here. But I really want to be able to have short sides for the rest of my grey life, you know what I mean? Because if they're long, I'm going to keep dyeing this and it's all scraggly. Shit, I've got to figure it out right now. $24mm. It's 1 inch. I bring that down, it goes 22 to 24, right? Can you read that? And I'll adjust this, so that's the difference between 22 and 24. We're 24. Try 22. No, I reckon it's going to be half an inch. (16 to 18). We'll do it on 16. I can't see anything. It's all fogged up from the dryer and from the shower. I'll come back later on and have a look. I can't see anything. I still can't see anything. Okay, so I noticed that there was a pretty severe bald spot happening back here. Maybe time to shave my head. So, transitioning from short to long. I still can't see. Just it's all fogged up, right? This is basically what I'm looking at when I see myself. Because this thing's fucking pumping out steam. Just stop for a second. Okay, please. Don't fall. Now, I think this is the sort of situation where I would wait until the next day to see exactly what I need to change. But I think I've improved upon what the hairdressers did in terms of that transition. When you're shaving a bit like this, you've really got to push the hairs up into it, etc. Because it just doesn't. Somebody needs to invent some sort of vacuum that would connect to one of these things, so it just sucks the hair and just cuts it. Because it doesn't. It just pushes the hair over. Might have to get rid of that chunk there, maybe. I don't know yet. Really feel like I should wait until I have proper visibility. At the moment I don't have much at all. I probably ended up cutting all this a lot shorter. But don't forget there's that transition line that really needs to have coverage. was going to go for a big night walk, but now I feel so ill. I'm watching Westworld season 4, but I can't find a nice place to sit down in my house. I've got a new couch, but it's pretty uncomfortable, even though it's really expensive. I don't know what to do. I sit in my office chair so I don't get a bad back when I'm leaning forward on the keyboard for hours at a time. Otherwise my back stiffens up and I get fucked. What I really feel like I should do is probably cook, eat, and watch the movie. I've only been awake for a few hours, so I won't go to sleep, but I was planning to get some windscreen wipers the last 3 days, but I haven't been awake. Well, I have been, but I've been too exhausted to leave the house at those times of days. Like, I'll still be awake at 9 AM when the place has just opened, and I just can't move. I could push myself to move now if I drove down the street with my windscreen wipers inverted, because I've taken them out. There's no windscreen wiper in there. And Australia is a second world country, so you can't buy any windscreen wipers at night time. Kmart doesn't sell them. Service stations don't sell them. You have to go to specific Repco or Supercheap Auto or something. Specific car stores now, because Australia has basically stopped selling everything because people go to the internet or whatever. Australia's not a very good. It's not a first world country. I mean, we have mobile phones and stuff, but then so do other third world countries. We get very, very basic shit that other countries don't want, and that's what we are able to buy here. There are some good things, but mostly, on the grand scheme of things, I remember when I was a kid, seemed to be more, but then again, I didn't know any different at that time. When you travel and you see what other countries are selling, it's for so cheap as well. Like our orange juice is about $7 for 2 litres. 2 litres. It's pretty expensive. The average rent in Australia is about, I don't know, $400 a week. So if you live outside of the city, you could be paying $400 for a 3-bedroom house. But if you live in the city, you're paying $400 for an apartment, 1 bedroom. It's pretty expensive compared to other countries from what I see. Like, people who live on the water in, like, Manly in Sydney, they're paying about $40 million for their house. All the way along, 40 million, 40 million, 40 million, 40 million, 40 million. Right along the beach. 1 street back, it's probably 35 million. I don't know, it's just expensive. This apartment here, this is worth about 800,000. So I mean, if I sold this, I'd almost be a millionaire, you know, but it's not mine. I'm just paying to live here. It's in the family. But I'll inherit it, probably, if I die last. Okay, my hair's mostly dry now. I just really don't feel very good. And having no sideburns or anything to decorate my face with, it's a big mistake, I think. I kind of really need this to thicken out, but if I ever do get it short, you know, you've got to sort of transition, and as you saw, it was 11 millimeters, the length here. Very hard to cut all this properly back here. There are chunks probably that are really long. In terms of touch-ups and shortening this down to maybe 2 inches instead of whatever this is. That's probably a smart idea as well, but I've got to be careful up here because I need this coverage. See how it goes over the next few days. I just really feel very, very, very run down. Very, very sick, like I've got cancer. That's what it feels like.